Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Idahoan Show. Today we are trying out my third iteration of the folding stock muzzleloader concept. As you may recall, my first iteration worked, but it was a little bit wobbly and you had to pull out a pin to fold and unfold the stock. My second iteration also worked, but it was a little bit stiff to operate and you had this big hub or hinge right behind the hammer that arguably could kind of get in the way. In this version, I think I have solved all of those problems. This one wobbles just a little bit because I ground it down too far as I was doing the final finishing, so that's a fabrication error, not so much a design flaw. But other than that, it's a good secure lockup that's still not too difficult to operate, and as you can see, it's got a fairly clean grip. I've gone with a 3D printed polymer grip and buttstock, mostly because it would have been unduly difficult to inlet wood to fit around the hub mechanism that's in there. So, the way this works, I've got a button that I can just press here, and then the stock will fold out if I've got it tilted up to let gravity unfold it for me. And same thing in reverse, pushing that down will unlock the mechanism and I can just fold it back up. So, without further ado, let's take this out to the range and see how it actually handles. Well, I've got a volunteer to help me with the testing today, so this is Caleb. There you go.
It works.
Well, now that I've had a chance to do some shooting with this gun, I still think I'm going to stand by my initial position that this is a good folding stock design that satisfactorily addresses the shortcomings of its predecessors. It's relatively easy to deploy, it's relatively comfortable to shoot, and in the folded position, it makes a pretty decent foregrip. Of course, it is more challenging to shoot accurately with the stock folded, both because you don't have the stock to brace against your shoulder for stability, and because the peep sight is a little hard to see through when you've got it at arm's length like that. But I was still able to hit targets shooting it in this configuration. In the interest of compactness, I did make the grip pretty short, so I really only have room for 2 fingers below the trigger guard, but I find that it actually feels pretty natural to rest my index finger on the side of the receiver and then pull the trigger with my middle finger instead of my index finger, regardless of whether I've got the stock folded or deployed. That said, if I have it deployed, I can, move down and have my little finger kind of on the base of the stock, and then still use my index finger to pull the trigger if I so choose. Admittedly, with this style of a stock, I don't have any kind of a cheek weld, but that didn't really have any noticeable adverse effect on my accuracy. So with the understanding that every folding stock is going to represent a compromise of sorts, I feel like this one is a pretty satisfactory compromise, and I think that if I make any more folding stock muzzleloaders, I'll probably use this same design or something very, very similar. So anyway, yeah, fun little gun to shoot. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, thank you for watching the Idahoan Show.